Hey, welcome. Welcome back. The video stopped. It seems like it, I don't know, I have all these technical problems. Apparently haven't mastered this part. So I am going to now move forward with, yeah, I had to light some fresh sage, so for some reason it's really starting to smoke. But time for the readings. So we're going to start with Aries, okay? I want to I'm fascinated actually. A chart I'm looking at right now, this person is an Aries rising, and so I want you, for Aries people, in particular, the full moon happens at 19/20 degrees of Aries, okay? So this lucky individual whose chart I'm using for an Aries reading, lucky in the fact that I chose their chart, but also this individual has their ascendant and their descendant at 19 degrees and 31 seconds, which basically means this full moon is happening right there in their house of self and others, right? Our ascendant, this side, is self, and the opposite side is our descendant, which is our one-on-one relationships, who we share ourselves with, okay? And so the full moon's happening there. Now remember, full moons are all about a heightened level of emotions. And it's going to be fiery because it's in Aries. The moon itself will be sitting in the fiery line of Aries. And for this individual, it's sitting right on their ascendant. So when it sits right on a point, like the ascendant point, it's already a concentration of energy there. So now you have the moon sitting there, a full moon, so it shines the light on something for this individual, on themselves, okay? But the light is coming from its polar opposite. It's coming from the Libra side. Remember what I said in earlier videos. You want to make sure that whenever you're discussing an energy, that you're understanding that it has a polar opposite, because it helps you to understand that which this particular side, Aries, is trying to ascend to be a little bit more like in the qualities, traits, and characteristics it's trying to grasp onto and bring in more of those traits, obviously the better traits, to the more harmonious traits to this side. So Aries is about self, me, 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 me. And they're usually impulsive. But its polar opposite is Libra. Libra likes to be a little bit more methodical in the sense that it wants to satisfy the left and the right. It kind of likes to sit on the fence. It doesn't want to offend. So it's all about compromise. Well, Aries is usually about, well, let's just go do this. And, hey, did you consider me? So there might be something here that another person in this person's relationship, a significant person, because it's our one-on-one relationships, that they bring the awareness to them of, hey, hold up a second. I need your attention with this. There's something we need to discuss first. So the full moon for everybody is, as always, is an emotional time. And right now, this is really like a level up, because Pluto's involved and Saturn's involved. And it's a level up to our soul. It's a level up of another layer of our soul being uncovered. So in other words, it's another way in which a physical part of our being, our ego part, is dissolving. And so the more of the ego dissolves, the more the soul shines through. Okay? So for Aries people, what you're going to do is you want to focus. How do you work through this energy? You're going to be focusing on being more compromising without sacrificing your sense of who you are and your identity and your well-being. This full moon in particular has a very strong feminine energy to it. So nurturing, mothering, creativity, right? The mother power is the power to create. So issues about mom, issues about being a mom. Think of Cancer when we think of mother. Think of the moon when we think of mother. So emotions, right? These things are all going to be elevated at this time. And when we think of Aries, it's also ourselves in the sense of our physical body. And for this being, it definitely is their physical body because it's right on their ascendant. Another good thing that you're going to look at for all of us in the full moon is basically if you have your chart, you want to know, you're looking, you're saying, okay, well, what's working for me? What else do I have to my advantage other than I have to compromise? Remember, compromise but not sacrifice your sense of self. It really comes about perfecting relationships that are interdependent, okay? So not a dependency and not a 100% I'm independent, I need nobody, but it's more about how I can make myself work within this duo, okay? And how I can still shine being in the duo and how I can help somebody else to shine being within the duo and I'm not covering their light type of thing. So we have the powerful energy of Scorpio. There's Venus and Mercury who are very compatible, who are like sisters, I would call them. And they're in Scorpio right now. Now, you want to use this to your advantage because Scorpio is the detective, okay? And for Aries right now, Scorpio in that energy is basically the ability to let's research, let's talk about things that we maybe don't normally talk about with just anybody. It's more of a intimate feeling, an intimate vibration. It is a bonding vibration. Scorpios have that ability to just kind of hone in on you and 100% focus on you when they're discussing things with you. And so this is an advantage at this time. This will totally help the other person feel like they are being heard, okay? At the end of the month, Aries, I want you to be aware of your work environment, your professional environment, your career, your highest hopes and aspirations, your area of your life where you want to be acknowledged and recognized like by the world. It's going to conflict. You're going to find stress. You're going to have tension with your significant one-on-one relationship. So this entire month of October is all about these other relationships, but not just groups and circles and relationships like 11th house stuff, more definitely our inner, closer relationships, our significant one-on-one, our partners, you know, people we've committed to, on whatever level that may be. Somebody where it's, you know, you keep in touch on a regular basis. This is this ongoing theme for the entire month of October, is perfecting our ability to relate in a one-on-one relationship. At the end of the month, there is this full moon, okay? And it's not just about, I'm sorry, scratch, I misspoke. At the beginning of the month was the full moon in Aries, okay? And the full moon on Aries is October 13th. I'm sorry if I haven't said that. I'm just kind of picking up because I know this is a continuation of the video that decided to stop on me. Spirit man, stepping in all the time. So October 13th is the full moon of Aries. When we get to the end of the month, like October 28th, depending upon where you live, we're experiencing a new moon in Scorpio, okay? New moon in Scorpio. This new moon in Scorpio is powerful because of the fact that it's not just this new moon in Scorpio. I've been trying to drill it in to people's mind. Pluto, remember, drilling in that astrology is cumulative. And so anytime we experience something, it's a cycle. And so we're going to see certain things come up again. They're not necessarily done and over with. So if you think about it, this interrelating thing, this Libra quality, this Libra energy for the month of October, and then at the end of the month, you've got the new moon in Scorpio, because Scorpio is the progression, is the next sign after Libra, okay? Scorpio is all about intimate one-on-one relationships, but they're more committed to the degree where, okay, are you willing to merge, to physically merge, to financially merge? That's what Scorpio energy is about. It's also about bonding in a physical way, right? A lot of people say Scorpio is all about sex. Well, remember what I said earlier, Pluto rules Scorpio. And what does Pluto do? It's that constant drilling factor because it can dig deep. It is the ultimate investigator. of the zodiac. And with Pluto involved and Mars, it's this never-ending desire for more information. Now, at the end of the month, again, it's a new moon. Normally new moons aren't stressful. They're typically about setting intentions. This new moon is going to be a little bit more challenging because of the fact that opposing the new moon, is Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus at about 4.5 degrees, and that's where the new moon is happening. The new moon is happening at 4.5, 5 degrees of Scorpio. So there's this grand opposition, and Uranus is individuality, is surprises, is something really comes to light. It's fascinating because even though this is a new moon, it's almost like it's going to have some tastes, some sensations, and some familiarity of a full moon. Full moons shed the light, but because we're having Uranus involved in this new moon, we're also going to be like, hey, in case you weren't aware of this, this is what's going on. And it's going to be about what I value, what I find important, what I hold dear. Okay? So keep that in mind for your new moon intention. You're still going to set intentions. There are some other difficulties at that time. And like I said, specifically for Aries, it's for relationships, significant one-on-one relationships, and your professional career. Maybe you're spending a lot of time in the professional career, and so you're getting friction. You know, you're not at home enough. But this is a Mars squaring Saturn. So at that time, because Mars is involved, and because we're talking about Aries, which is fiery, and the new moon happening in Scorpio, there's an ability and almost a desire to defend and fight. You don't want things to escalate. You don't want things to get to the degree where there's argument and confrontation, okay? So be smart. Walk yourself through it. Talk yourself through it. Plan ahead. That's what these videos are for. Replay them. Come back to them at the end of the month, you know, a week before the new moon. I have to apologize. My brain is like in different weird places. To set up astrologically is a little challenging, so bear with me. I think that's it, actually, for the Aries. This is to make sure that you understand the focus for all the signs right now is Libra. The focus is Libra, which is significant one-on-one relationships. We are really having just some choppy waters and understanding how to relate in ways where we don't sacrifice our sense of self and who we are, our Aries self, okay? And at the end of the month, we want to be particularly aware of the few days before the 28th, the few days after the 28th. Do not let any tension, stress, bring about, there'll be a tendency, like I said, to escalate and to have confrontations. And I want to give you a heads up for that so that you don't do that, okay? You can do this, be smart and plan, and we'll see you next month.